Joining me is Mr. Richard McIntyre, chairman of the Spice Isle Bill Fishing Tournament, and Mr. Nicholas George, store manager for Budget Marine Grenada, title sponsor of the event. So good morning, gentlemen.
Morning, morning.
Morning, yes.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Oh, we're glad to be here.
Yeah.
It gives us an opportunity to talk about what's on, and hopefully your viewers might get a clearer understanding of what's involved, you know.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about this year's tournament. When is it starting? This is the 43rd year, is that right?
Yeah, 43rd year. It was started in 1964 by Jim Needham of the Flamboyant and two other guys. One was Martin Matthias, who was very involved with the Grenada Yacht Services, and Louis Rosta from Trinidad. He was the chairman and managing director of Tatil. And it just evolved over the years until eventually Mr. Needham more or less gave it up and asked myself and a couple of others, Angus Miners, Fred Toppin and so, to take it and run with it, literally. And we are now at our 43rd year. Fantastic period it has been for all of us. I think it has put Grenada on the map, undoubtedly. You know, I was so pleased yesterday, probably divert a bit from your question, but just to show how much this has done for Grenada. Yesterday, one of the guys from Trinidad was saying he had with him Captain Bart Miller, who is a internationally renowned sports fishing captain out of Australia, and he has produced the baits called Black Bart lures. So, you know, Captain Bart is fishing with us in Grenada, and that's as high as you could get in terms of sports fishing, you know, nationalities and so on, and famous people.
Okay. Wow, that's excellent. I mean, I know that you had a tournament yesterday, a small tournament yesterday, if I could call it that. That's something new for this year, right?
Yeah. We want to get the commercial fishermen involved, let them understand and feel for what's been happening with our own tournament, and we try to engender some fellowship and, you know, sportsmanship. Exactly, you know, we had no rules, just you had to get in by a certain time. We had some fantastic prizes that I thought were good enough, and the response was perhaps muted because of the weather yesterday. A lot of boats couldn't go out because these boats are mainly little outboard engines and they no cover and so on, so the weather was not kind at all to them. I think Nicholas and so on provided some beautiful coolers which we felt would be useful to these guys, and then we had Solisi gave us some cash prizes which we gave. That will be converted into fuel, you know, for the runs that they did yesterday, and they got some, we had food and we had a lot of things being done for them and so on, you know. So so I think it was a first start, but next year, I'm sure, I want to promise those out there, next year will be far better.
Okay. I mean, what was the response like from them, you know, going from commercial fishing and to now sport fishing? How was that transition?
Well, it wasn't so much sport because they kept all of their fish. But we just wanted them to come back in and weigh their fish and be part of a process, which we thought was good, and it's very helpful, and the response was fantastic.
Okay. I know, Nicholas, you went out yesterday as well?
From the response I got from the local fishermen, they felt very appreciated. They were actually brought in and involved in the actual tournament. So I see nothing but big things next year. Everybody's talking about it. I was getting phone calls last night from people I competed against.
What?
And you know, the response is great. I think it's a great addition to the tournament, and we're definitely going to get some good mileage locally by adding that on.
Okay. Anything else different happening this year? I know that typically the tournament's been what, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and the days have shifted.
It always is never the same. We have tradition over the years. We have found success with fishing between the last quarter, and these fish are migratory species of billfish. They are, you know, and we fish sometimes between the last quarter of the moon phase up to the first quarter, but it all depends, and a lot, to some degree, is determined by the Trinidad Carnival, you know. So we don't want to have it too close to Trinidad Carnival because the Trinidad boats give us 60% of the participation, 50-60. They have huge boats, they come in their numbers, and it makes a whole difference to our outlook here, you know. So, but we use the moon phase to assist us with when we think the catches results will be the best, and it has worked for us. I mean, I've fished in all the other tournaments, and our release results generally triple the number that you get in the other countries.
Really? Wow.
Triple. Last year we had 94. And then I went to Martinique, we had 12 releases. We had St. Lucia had about 25. And Tobago this year was very, very poor. Last year was very poor, 20 I think it was.
Wow, okay. That's significantly different.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
more
exactly.
than triple in some
Well,
cases.
more than triple, but
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to rub it in, but we do.
Not rub it in, man. Rub it in. Grenada
we
show,
have a
we're rubbing it
fantastic. Yeah, we have a great potential here, and I think it's marketed all over. Again, thanks to Budget Marine, who could tell you about it. This goes through everyone. Well, Nicholas could tell you more about the Budget Marine involvement.
Well, Mark, as you know, we try to support as many marine-related activities here on the island as possible. After 2010, we sat down as a group, as a Budget Marine group, and we thought to ourselves, this could be a very, very good opportunity. The SIBT committee works tirelessly to putting on a good event every year. They know what they're doing. So it makes perfect sense for a sponsor to support a committee that, puts a lot of effort into the event. We have 12 locations all throughout the Caribbean. We're actually using that to our advantage to push the Grenada tournament. Okay. So we have stores from St. Martin go right down to the ABC Islands. So it makes perfect sense for us to push the tournament throughout the islands. We might get additional boats coming down, we might get additional boats coming up. But the partnership, the way I see it, is perfect. We're a marine chandlery. Historically, we weren't really into fishing, more into sailing, but it complements the Budget Marine group and the Budget Marine brand completely, and we're seeing great results. And I know the SIBT committee is seeing great results as well.
Yeah, well, that's great. That it's a promotion not just for Budget Marine, but as you say, for the tournament itself,
exactly.
and for
Grenada
as a whole.
Yes. People get to know about. We've had calls. I actually had a call from a Dr. Patisani who is getting his boat coming up from Venezuela. He's in the Caymans, and he's a dentist, and he has a team put together, and he has told his boat, get to Grenada. I'm going to fly in and come to it. All of the charter boats all have foreign guests coming in for it. Gary on the boat ESI has a English and Scots group coming in to fish and so on. So, we are so pleased with what this does for us here, the country, and I want to thank all of those, including the government, for their support. All the sponsors. We have Budget, and we have a host of other sponsors. Beacon Insurance is involved, and it has assisted us to put a package together, and I think it's the sponsorship levels are modest indeed, and what they get, we certainly are very, very pleased that it goes a long way, and they get all the mileage possible.
Okay. How many boats are you anticipating this year, and from how many countries?
Well, Tobago, Trinidad. We get boats from Tobago, and we get from Trinidad the largest number. It's possible, as I said, the one we know definitely is coming out of Venezuela, and then you have the Grenada participants, and St. Lucia, Barbados, Martinique, perhaps Guadeloupe. Antigua came last year. We have had no word from them as yet, but we anticipate. In terms of boats, if we get 45, it's a great tournament, because, as I said, the others have attended have been 30, 28 boats. We still get the most boats here. So
Okay.
So that really is a great help for us.
Okay, most boats, most fish.
More registrations,
Exactly.
more money coming into the country, more people involved. They have a lot of guys come down and they ask, could you give me a pass? I want to be able to go and work and clean down a boat, wash down a boat. When the guys come in from fishing, they don't want to go washing down, so some of the guys get a little job here to wash down for the 3 days and so on. We have to control it, but it works.
Okay. Excellent. I mean, how has the tournament changed over the years? Like when it first started, how many boats were you talking about in those days?
In those days, yeah. I could tell you there's so many changes that have taken place. I fished very, very early in it, and we killed every fish that was caught. Every fish. In fact, we have pictures of what went on, and we're going to be doing a sort of library of what has gone on, and we have it on CD, and you see endless fish being killed.
Okay.
And today we release fish.
Okay, I believe we actually have a clip from last year's event. Yeah, I mean, I remember going down to yacht services many years ago to watch the fish that were caught.
Yeah, that's Bernard Johnson from St. Lucia. Now, if you notice, there's no one assisting at all. If ever you touch the rod, when you have a fish, when the angler is fighting a fish, if he's a sportsman, he will disqualify himself. He has to take that, from the time the fish gets hooked, he has to literally handle it all by himself. Except when you come to the leader, you may see someone handle the lead. And you see,
Which is right.
So that is now considered a release. What is being done there, they want to just get the hook out. And in order to revive that fish, the boat has to continue to go forward so that the fish is not stressed in any way. You see, it's probably very, very tired there. It's very dangerous, very, very dangerous. People have become impaled by the bill of the fish already. But what they would do is, they then, once they get the lure out, which you have a picture of there, they then hold the bill and the boat is pulled in a forward motion, and then basically the fish is revived and you just let it go. And that's what we call a release.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's very much a sport of honor and integrity, as you say. You rely on people's honesty and sportsmanship.
Yeah. You can get a perfect sportsman, and you could also find yourself with a sportsman who is very imperfect.
Yeah.
And there are very many ways in which you can, you know, we don't have what is called observers on every boat, because we'd have to find 50 people who know about sports fishing, and basically it's
who don't want to fish.
Right, exactly. So but we get by. We have photographs. You know, you're supposed to come with a digital camera, and you take pictures once the release is there, and we can determine the species of fish, because the marlin, you know, you have both blue and white, and then you have the sailfish. A lot of them have these bills on their back, but they vary a lot. You know, they're very different. The pictures are inside there somewhere. So you get more points for releasing a marlin, a blue marlin, because that really is the I want to not put in a plug here, but it's what is referred to as the BMW of sports fishing. You know, it's the top of the line. And people go all over the world to destinations where blue marlin have been known to be caught. And I know Grenada is one of these, you know.
Okay. All right. I mean, so what are the fish that count in the tournament?
The ones that count for points, blue and white marlin and sailfish. The other species of fish that are brought generally to the scale, except if you have a huge blue marlin, you know, our focus has always been on conservation. We have been able to see fish caught today. There's a picture of yellowfin tuna, you know, and that actually is one of the tough ones that you have a battle. Once you get that on 50-pound test, is probably generally 3 times the weight of the fish, is 3 times the weight and the strength of the line. Right. So it takes a lot of skill to be able to, you can't just bring it one time. Okay. You have to fight on your hands. Okay. You know, that's a 50-pound test line with 140-pound fish. Yeah. You know, that's nearly 3 to 1 in terms of the ratio. And it takes a lot to get it in.
Okay. So the tuna don't count towards the points of the tournament?
No. We bring that. Yeah. Well, you see, this is the beauty about Grenada's fishing. You have at least 6. Well, we know of 7. Or at least there's a long-bill spearfish, but we don't bring it in because it gets the same points as the sailfish, and we want to make sure it's usually a small size fish. So we prefer to have that alive. So we encourage you guys not to catch it. You know, they're generally very small, 20 to 30 pounds and so on. But the billfish, we have the moon phase right, you could have a full day's fishing and enjoy just catching billfish and releasing them, you know, because the more points you get, the tournament is won on points. Okay. So I'll just tell you one of the things we have done. Because the conservation is foremost in our minds, we have put the points for a release for a blue marlin. If you caught a blue marlin that is anywhere around 580 to 600 pounds, you get the same points as a blue marlin if you released it where we say our minimum limit is 500 pounds. So we want you to release the fish. If you get a big one, and the guys will know, you know, when it's 650 and 700 pounds, they will know when to bring it ashore. And from experience, you know, you check on the girth and all these things.
Right.
And so the big ones will come in, but the smaller ones, you know, 400-500 pounds, which is huge by commercial standards, but we actually want to, we want it released.
Okay. And I know you have a rod and a reel here. I mean, let's take a little look at some of the equipment.
Well, this is a very, very light, this is 20-pound test line, you know.
Okay. Now, what tests do you fish with in the tournament?
30, 50, and 80.
Okay, and also you get more points for catching with 30-pound test as opposed to 80? Or?
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
Once the fish is actually weighed and it qualifies, you know. If you got a sailfish that qualifies for weighing, because we have minimum weights for sailfish and the white marlin as well, you generally with a lighter line will get more points, you know.
Okay.
And as I said, this is 20-pound test. This is what these youngsters fish on the carronage with. But this is what makes the skill all that more important. There are a lot of rules with respect to this. When you're fishing, for instance, with 50-pound test, the length of your double line, which is what this, it's quite a poorly done one. Usually, when you have it done right, you will find that it is twisted.
Okay.
So it becomes one. But this was not done right. But on the other hand, it's for light sports fishing, you know, and you could for 50-pound test you need 15 feet of double line and making a total of 30 feet of lead. You know, the lead could be any size.
Okay. Okay.
But if you go with too heavy a lead, you probably find the balance is not right and the fish may not come to the lure.
Okay.
This is a lure that probably is designed for, not probably, is designed for fishing with ballyhoo or flying fish.
Okay.
You know?
And this would catch what sort of size?
Any size.
Any size.
The key to it is to get this heavy line to the boat with this light line.
Right.
Because once this heavy line is nearby, the guy, as you saw, can start to pull the fish closer to the boat, but he can't touch it if the double line is not in, you know.
Right.
It has to get right in, and then he could get his hands on this, and then you bring the fish to the boat and so on, you know. But it's risky, but this is what it's all about, the fun of it, you know. And guys have lost fish on the boat, you know. We went to Mexico, and what I saw happening in Mexico, we won a tournament in Tobago, and the prize is also, we have that prize also available here. The winner of this year's tournament will go to the Tournament of Champions in Mexico, and their fishing is absolutely different to ours. They just burst the line and let the fish go free once it gets to the boat.
Okay.
They have no time to waste, you know.
Right.
Amazing.
Okay. And I suppose, tell me the tournament this year. What are the days? What are the times? In terms of spectators, what should people go out and look for?
On Thursday morning, the boats are not allowed to leave the dock before 6 o'clock, and I'll just run through it quickly. On Thursday morning, they will come along the cruise ship dock. No, sorry, they will come along the commercial dock on the inside, and then come up by the fire station, make a wide arc, and turn, and go down alongside the Nutmeg and you know, Hubbard's building, and go to the outer parts where they will then take off. That's something like the parade of the boats there going on, and they will come along in the inner harbor and then go outside. Now we have 2 cruise ships that day, so we have to be very careful. I think the bigger ones will prevail because the boats leave with great speed and they go out to fish, you know. So that's what we're hoping, so that there's some spectacle on the inner harbor, and then of course in the afternoons the boats all come back at different times, but they have to be in, you know, so to get the fish weighed.
Okay, and the tournament is Thursday,
Friday and Friday. We have a lay day on Saturday where we cook for all of the guys, you know. They love the oil dung, so we're going to be having that. We're going to be having fish broth and some other things. We cook for the anglers and so on, and I hope your TV crew could be down to meet and greet with some of the guys that have been here for years.
Well, the oil dung definitely sounds
well,
like
that's great.
to come now.
You'll be more than welcome then, yes.
Yeah. I mean, Nicholas, are you fishing, or what's your involvement?
I'm trying to get a free day to take part, but it might be a bit difficult.
Okay.
With everything going on, as you know. But usually I try to go out on the second day, so at least I have the lady to rest to get ready for the prize giving and the final day where everything is going on. So fingers crossed I should be able to fish, but if I don't, it won't be a big problem.
All right, okay. So your sponsorship goes well beyond just the
yeah,
finance.
there's a passion for it as well.
Yeah, okay, all right. Now I understand that, as Mark said, that you were presented with a steel cup from Bruce Bain.
Yes, we're so grateful for what Bruce did. Bruce Bain fished with Justice Fields, who was one of the judges here in the very old days. And in 1968, they won a tournament. And Bruce presented us with that cup that they won, a sterling silver cup, which we really, really are so grateful, for, because it shows a timeline of when fishing was taking place, sports fishing in Grenada. And Bruce was so happy to give it to us because, he has been a sportsman himself with loads of trophies from football and the like. And Bruce was very happy to hand it over to us on condition that he gets a Budget Marine jersey. So
has he got the jersey?
Not yet,
no,
but
we'll facilitate
we
it.
presented him with that.
Okay.
And Bruce has been a great sport and always with us and ensuring that we go from strength to strength. So I want to thank him publicly for this. It's really been a great gesture.
Yeah. I mean, somebody who might be interested in getting into sport fishing or already into sport fishing, want to get on a boat. I mean, how does somebody start getting involved? Where does somebody start in terms of getting into, as you throwing a line off of a Milo tin on the carronage to
this level?
This level.
It's a hard call. Generally, when you come in to fish, you put a team together. When we go away, we look at the team. It costs a lot. So, you're talking $1,000 because you have to pay for fuel, and the team pays for the fuel, the team pays for the food and all the other things. So all of the visiting boats would have come with a team. There are some local boats here that are very involved and love the sports fishing. And they will be there. I guess they fish with a lot of their friends and so on. But it's something that you have to learn gradually. It doesn't just happen overnight because it could become a danger. If you don't know what to do when you have a fish on, you have to be very, very careful when a fish comes to the boat. You don't lean over. One guy, I've repeated this once before in Puerto Rico. He was pulled. You saw how the guy was wrapping there, but he got a huge marlin in Puerto Rico and they never found him because it pulled him overboard and went with him at the line. There's a way in which you wrap the line, and if it's bigger and stronger than you are, you just simply let it go. But I think the line got impaled on his hands, and they never found him. So it's dangerous. These bills can go through you. And fish, if you stop the boat when you're about to get the lure out of the mouth, you must keep the boat in motion. What can happen, the fish can come up, and if you bend over, you could get impaled in it. So it really, and you want people there who know what to do, And I am sure they have lots of guys who know about fishing, and if they were to come, they will pick it up in minutes. But it just means you have to get a friend to go out with them. Okay. But we want to grow the local interest to a point where, we have too many anglers and fewer boats,
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you guys very, very much for coming in and telling us a little about tournament fishing in general.
Thanks for having us.
Thank both of you for your contribution to the sport and to Grenada as a tourism product as well. And tourism destination. And so thank you very, very much, and I look forward. I'll be down at Yacht Club for sure to see what's going on.
Oh, you're more than welcome, and we want all your management and others to come.
I thought it was just me.
No, not you alone.
All right. Okay. I'll let them know. All right. Thank you very much once again.